Real Enigmas and Theories is back again with another video. You have those type of mystery shows that make you ask, who did what? Or who killed so-and-so? Then you have those kinds of shows that have you asking, what is actually going on here? This is where the writers can get clever with the misdirection and create a sublime experience for the viewer without actually giving up the goods right away. And from the looks of the first 3 episodes of The Changeling, yet again, we have a series that forces us to engage and pull out those magnifying glasses for a deeper view. Let me mention a few things I didn't notice on my first watch, and then I'll show you this rabbit hole that I fell into while doing some research on the show. And last but not least, I'll tell you what I think about that third wish that Emma made and show you clues for my theory as well. So without further ado, let's pull out those magnifying glasses and get busy. So the very first thing I noticed on the second watch was the creature that hopped on the boat and helped the ship survive a huge wave before hopping off back into the water. We also got a shot of something in the water moving towards the city at the end of episode 2. So when the narrator said that they had help, I'm sure this creature was it. He also said their journey was improbable, hence the word on the box, and a connection to the Norwegians. In my last video, I said that I couldn't find anything on the word. What I actually meant was I couldn't find anything other than the actual translation. Another thing I noticed was the resemblance between the seemingly homeless guy at the library and the lawyer that Apollo's mom used to work for, Mr. Blackwood. He is who Apollo said his mother called to get him out of jail only 3 months after running into a public library with a loaded shotgun, taking hostages, making terroristic threats, and actually firing the weapon, causing glass to rain on the streets below. I don't see how anybody in those circumstances can get off that easy in New York unless they had a bag of state secrets. I'm just saying.
Leave your bags here with me.
These contain state secrets.
Okay.
Moreover, this guy is what sparked the situation for Apollo to even hear Emma's voice in the first place. So I'm sure this clue could be relevant in future episodes. Let's also take a look at the fact that Blackwood had been an influence on Apollo's life very early and a contributor to Apollo's love for reading by giving his mother stacks of magazines and books throughout the years of his childhood. Here's another thing I noticed. Emma had been to the lagoon and seen the old lady more than once. When we see Emma approach old Blue Eye, we can clearly see that she has on a white knitted top with flowers that run down the front. However, in the scene after Apollo finds the postcard by Aleister Crowley, the scene then cuts to Emma in Brazil exploring in the jungle. You can clearly see her wearing a different shirt. It confirms that Emma had at least visited the lagoon before and seen old Blue Eye there before she made the wishes. Also, the family that Emma stayed with could have told her about the lagoon purposely so that she would go down there. They could have also told old Blue Eye Emma's name. The woman knew her name, and she knew that Emma was told not to go there. How would she know that? And why would Emma go there twice? Also, did she make the wishes before or after the escapade with the Norwegian photographer? Now, here's the rabbit hole that I found. This is no doubt connected to the show in several ways. Peep this. In 1979, a couple lived together in a Brooklyn basement apartment. Howard Green, 51, was an artist and a cab driver, and Carol Marone, 33, was a seamstress and a secretary at Pratt Institute. Friends of the couple had seen them one day on the subway going home together. The next day, they had gone missing in December of '79. A few days later in Paterson, New Jersey, a motorist calls 911 to report what looks like 2 bodies on the side of the road. Authorities came and confirmed that it was indeed 2 corpses of a man and a woman. Both bodies had a clump of hair in the same hand, and they were wrapped up together in a hugging position in a cloth. Coroners later confirmed that the bodies had been drained of blood and both had a syringe mark in the exact same spot. The lead detective in the case released a statement saying that these murders were occult in nature and the pair had been identified as the missing Brooklyn couple. Authorities went to the home of the couple and found the place ransacked and many occult books and items. A short time after the murders, a journalist by the name of Maury Terry received an anonymous tip about the murders, implicating an occult group called OTO, or Ordo Templi Orientis. This group was once led by Aleister Crowley and has many members throughout New Jersey. Here's the connection to the show. Aside from the actual mention of Crowley, Crowley's followers possibly had something to do with this unsolved murder. The postcard that Apollo found was addressed to a couple in the Bronx, New York. However, Apollo went to Paterson, New Jersey to find the book that contained that picture and the postcard. So that would imply that this couple once lived in the Bronx, New York, and they moved to Paterson, New Jersey. Some of you might be asking, how do I know that these people moved to Paterson, New Jersey? Check out this establishment shot of the house where Apollo finds the book. This establishment shot is of an actual historic house for sale in Paterson, New Jersey. Not to mention, Apollo finds that book in what looks like an estate sale. A couple who personally knew Crowley, practiced the occult, lived in New York, and moved to Paterson, New Jersey. A couple in real life who lived in New York, practiced in the occult, and their bodies were found in Paterson, New Jersey. And the followers of Crowley's OTO movement may have had something to do with the murders, not to mention that the remains of Crowley are buried in Hampton, New Jersey. This connection is too robust for them not to have done this intentionally. Whoa. Now let's get on to that third wish. Okay, now let's take this from the top. I'm going to make one speculation, but it doesn't really impact my theory about the third wish. So here we go. Now, I have shown and proved that Emma went to the lagoon twice. The first time, I believe, Emma was scared to approach and kept it moving, but told that family that she had gone down there and seen the old woman. I speculate that she then had her little escapade with the Norwegian photographer. And this taking of the nude photo prompted her to feel stronger and shed some of that fear by feeling more adventurous. So when she went back to the lagoon, when old Blue Eye charmed her and prompted her to make her wishes, she asked for the three most simple things that a woman would ask for: a loving husband, a healthy child, and wealth. Yes, it's very simple what she asked for, and it was wealth. Old Blue Eye told her not to cut the string, and she didn't. Apollo did. And he made all three wishes come true: the loving husband, the healthy baby. And when Apollo found that To Kill a Mockingbird book, he fulfilled her third wish. After all three wishes had been fulfilled by Apollo, by finding that priceless book, Emma began to take a serious turn mentally and started snapping on the baby. Her behaving in this manner wasn't exclusive to her, because the lady at Apollo's group meeting had been experiencing the same thing, and I doubt if she had been down to Brazil to see old Blue Eye. Michelle had disclosed to Apollo that he granted two of the three wishes. She said she wanted to tell him a third wish in a way that wouldn't betray Emma's trust, and that would be due to the newlywed expecting couple's financial situation. This is why Apollo was very frugal when ordering bread for dinner. Emma even asked him about this while she was in labor. So if Apollo is granting the wishes, what did he do? He became her husband. Wish 1. He impregnated her. Wish 2. What else did Apollo do? He secured the bag when he found that priceless book. Wish number 3. Now, I told you already that we pull out those magnifying glasses over here. Also, a question that I did have on my first watch, and I forgot to mention it in my first video, but my man Percy Garcia brought it up in the comment. Why did Michelle say father of the bride in the restaurant? What did that even mean? Oh, and one more thing before I forget that I also saw. When Emma puts her hand under the water pot on the stove eye, it reminded me of how her father put his hand on the doorknob when the house was on fire and it burned his hand. I don't know, but those two parts stuck out to me because you both heard the sizzling sound when Emma touched the pot, and you also heard that same sizzle when her father's hand touched the doorknob. That might mean something later. Anyway, just something to think about while we wait on the next episode. That's all for my video today. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.